late today. Sorry I'm late. I'll give it a couple seconds for people to figure out I'm here because they might have thought I wasn't coming. So good morning. Okay, so today I want to talk about something that I didn't learn about. Sometimes I'm not very good at talking about it. Well, I learned about it, but not in a direct, traditional way. So, um, the Hamsa technique does not talk about non-dualism as much as some of the other techniques, and perhaps it does, but maybe it does further down in their training. I've only been through one training, and there are higher trainings, so maybe they do talk about it more. But other um, styles or techniques of meditation kind of throw out that term pretty early. So again, non-dualism. And I actually think that I know kind of what that means because I've experienced it. And I didn't experience it in meditation. I experienced it as a spiritual awakening. So I know that meditation is a lot of things for a lot of people, and it does not have to be a spiritual path for them, but for myself, it is. And irregardless if it's a spiritual path for you, I believe that what I experienced helped me in this immediate space with my mind. So I think it can still be beneficial if it's not a spiritual path for you. So non-dualism. I will tell you, I had this experience where I went to this wonderful festival that I go to called Bhakti Fest. And we do yoga, we sing kirtan, we just enjoy each other, all being together on a spiritual path, and it's really an amazing experience. And I went with a very good friend who's very smart, really intellectually stimulating, wonderful person. And when we were coming home, it's a far drive, so we have these really great conversations. I was really really awake, right? We were really awake in this conversation. And she very simply, we were talking about the Hindu, obviously the Hindu roots of kirtan. And she very simply said, Vishnu, she said, do you really think that there is a man in a boat in a sea somewhere up there in the sky? Which is a really simple question that many Christians get a lot about. Do you think there is a man in a throne up in the sky? Right? And so my experience to that in that moment in time was, do I think that I knew in that moment in time that there is a space, or you can call it a realm, that operates differently than the one that I am living in or privy to. I might still be living in connection to that realm, but I'm not privy to it. That has different operational rules than the one I'm in. So the operational rules in that space are formless. There is a formlessness, and that means that things can take any form at any time or no form at any time. It's a matter is consciousness, and so it doesn't operate with the same rules that we do. And so in that moment in time, I knew that in that realm, There could absolutely be a man in a boat in a sea. There could also be a man in a chair. There could be a tree. There could be anything, because formlessness can take any form. And so all of a sudden, I understood the rules, I guess, of what non dualism could mean. And it was such a huge thought that I literally, in my head, felt a rip in the sky. It was in my head, but it was also in the sky somehow. Um, and it was a tear. That's how big of a mindset shift this one thought was. And we talk a lot about mindset shifts in meditation, because basically our brain is a software program. And when we have a mindset shift, it's like the program does something that it wasn't programmed to do, which is, you know, a huge revelation and change in the operational system of us. So that was a mindset shift for me. It was spiritually motivated mindset shift. And I've had many mindset shifts, but that was definitely the biggest one, in where I even had a physical sensory reaction. So that mindset shift changed how my brain works. And so now I have an understanding of non dualism in my regular life, and I function differently. In that, I don't know if I want to get all the way into how it changed my daily thoughts, but because that's, I think, one that's experiential. So I don't know that I could explain it as well as you could understand it if you had it. Um, but I think for teaching purposes too, maybe it's just important to talk about how these things can unfold rather than just the information. Like, I can't just download the information to you. But I can tell you the story about how it unfolded, because that's what teaching is trying to teach you how to unfold it yourself. Um, so on that note, also, what I wanted to say was that a mindset shift, you cannot create a mindset shift. You can't just say, I'm going to shift my mind, right? So what you're doing, in essence, with with saying you want to create a mindset shift, that's setting an intention, right? Or meditating, that's doing something like a practice. You can create the conditions that create a mindset shift. So you can, you know, hustle a mindset shift along, and you can plant a seed to get to a mindset shift, but you can't actually just materialize or manifest a mindset shift, right? But you can create the condition, and that's what we're doing in meditation, is creating the conditions for really amazing things to happen. So thank you for letting me share that story today. It's one of the first times I've shared that story. I think maybe I've shared it once in the moment, and that was all I've shared about it. So I know it was a long story, but thank you for letting me share it, and I hope that it helped you in some way. So we'll get started with our meditation. Right, double inhale, double exhale, tense and release. Right, muscularly vibrating with vitality, bringing energy into your body, and then exhaling and releasing tension. Last round, let it go. Come into a counted breath. So we are going to exhale all the way together and inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own count, adjusting the duration if necessary. Let this be your last round. And upon completion, return to a natural breath. So, following a natural breath, without controlling it, I breathe in the vibrational mantra of Hong on the inhale and Sa on the exhale. We rest our gaze at the third eye and just observe all that happens. If something has a hold of your heart or your mind, try to relax that grip. What we're doing is the simplest of things. Give your energy to the simplicity of watching the breath and repeating the mantra. Take a soft inhale and slowly let it go. 3-part exhale. Notice this clear, open space you've created. Let go of the mantra and watching the breath. And literally just hang out in this space like an empty room with white walls. And become the feeling of that open space. Or perhaps that instead you are clear water. Completely still and crystal clear. Nothing seems to change in that stillness. And it becomes our job to incorporate the understanding of it, what stillness means, how we can endure it. How we can embrace it, become it. The stillness, the clarity, the space. Help us understand the eternal. We'll start to take a big breath and find some movement. right, open your eyes. Right, thank you for being with me. And I will see you next Wednesday. I hope all your meditations this week are wonderful.